Hi everybody, sorry I'm late. Just flew in from Las Vegas. Was at the NAB convention, looking at camera gear, editing equipment, and I just got home. Flew straight in. And luckily I changed my flight, or I wouldn't have been here even for this. Flew straight in. How do I turn that down? And luckily I changed my flight, or I wouldn't have been here even for this. Okay. Had another one. Hello Food, hello Mike, hello Kevin, Robert. Hey guys. James, how you doing? Drama, Halibut Man, Kevin. There's a bunch of you. D-House. Anybody been fishing lately? Hello, Greg. Yeah, I was in Vegas for 2 days at the NAB convention. I was supposed to be home about 3 hours ago, and we had a 2-hour delay at the airport, and had a little trouble getting a ride from the airport home, so it took a while. So I got here about 10 minutes to 7, and by the time I got everything set up and running, here we are now. Hello, John. Hello, Nature. Fixin' to fish. Are you new, or you been with us before? Sounds like Halibut Man's been doing some fishing. Sounds like he's got some fish. Oh, I should have made a little video. But Drama did really good and got a couple of nice bass at the last Kids Club meeting. Let me see if I can find those photos here. Well, I don't think they're on this computer. Nope. Hello, Kevin. Well, if you need to buy some fishing equipment, Nature, we'll be having a swap meet here in a couple weeks to benefit my youth foundation. Here you guys go. The Daniel Hernandez Youth Foundation will be hosting a fishing tackle swap meet at our office in Cerritos, California on Sunday, April 30th. Starts at 7 a.m., over at 1 p.m. It's free to attend, and I'll see you there. Yeah, so that'd be a good place to get some tackle if you guys are looking for fishing tackle. And it's a fundraiser for my youth foundation. So we can use all support we can get. See how I can show you this picture. Where did it send it? I told her to send me the picture. I know we sent it. Drama caught a really nice bass on Saturday. Okay, what's Michael's question? How do you feel about 300? Miguel, it's going to be a challenge, but a lot of boats down here are fishing over 300 feet right now. A lot of them are fishing 400 or 500 feet, and they seem to be doing well at it. So you guys might like it. You might catch more fish than we're catching before. So, sounds like Halibut Man's over by Ballast Point fishing right now. Hey Alan, how you doing? Robert got rockfish on Sunday. That's good. Hey Dad, how you doing? My mom and dad are in Texas this week, visiting one of my nieces and 3 more of their great-grandchildren. That's good. Hello, Joe. James says they went trout fishing. They did pretty good. That's cool. Hey, Jeff, how you doing? Yeah, Kevin, though, I think they're back in a week. My mom has surgery at the end of the month to get rid of her tumor, but they should be back by then. Yeah, Miguel, the answer to your question about all that work is one of these electric reel. I know it's not very sporty, but when you're fishing 500-600 feet, you're gonna wish you had one. The electric reel is what a lot of people are doing these days. Hey Annette, how you doing? My cousin is on here. So John McCut is fishing a crappie rig. Now where did that picture go? Did it go in my photo album? No. There it is. I think I just threw it away by accident. Okay. Hey Terry, how you doing? Yay, I got the picture. Okay, so here is Drama's bass that he caught Saturday. He got a couple of them. I think he got 2. And was it Ken or Robert were teaching him. There was a bunch of bass on the beds. And we could see them. Not a lot of them were hungry. And Drama's dumped a bunch of weight. He looks really, really good. He said he's playing basketball at school, and that's helping him. But he looks really good. So he's enjoying playing basketball and fishing. But that's a nice fish, sir. Congratulations. Considering like a couple years ago, you had no idea how to fish, and now you've caught yellowtail, dorado, bass, everything. Congratulations. Miguel, so I don't know if electric reels takes the fun out of catching the fish. I tell you, it saves your back and your arms when you have to fish that deep. You're going to go 600 feet, 800 feet. You're going to wish you had an electric reel. I mean, even 300 feet all the time gets tiring, but some of the boats, one of the guys on here, Jeff, yeah, he had his clients fishing at 800 feet. So that's pretty deep. Hey Oz, how you doing? Yeah, drama. Kevin wants to know if you've been practicing your casting. Donnie got some halibut. I'm looking forward to go halibut fishing soon. Yeah, you used to be able to get one tomorrow at any of your tackle stores. I know you shop at Eric's a lot up there in the Oxnard area. If he doesn't have them, he can get it for you. See, that's a good point Jeff has there. That it isn't so much it takes away the fun of fishing, but an electric reel makes it fun fishing at 800 feet or 1,000 feet. Because you only can fish 2 hooks. So to only use 2 hooks and drop that deep and have to use a rod and reel, regular, just conventional reel, that'll be tough. Yeah, Greg, I saw that they've been catching a lot of halibut up in the Bay Area. They've been trolling, which is pretty interesting. I'm kind of interested to see how they're doing that. Alan says, deep arm cranks. Deep arm what? Oh, cramps. Also, John says he hasn't been practicing casting. You should do that at the kids club meeting. You should practice casting where you got all those old guys there that can help you. Hey Soto, how you doing? Yeah, tomorrow, if you're going to be doing a lot of rock fishing, I'd suggest that because even up there in Santa Barbara, the guys might go, 1,000 feet or 800 feet. So it's good to be prepared. Marvelous lighting, bought the same reel you have. Yeah, that's a good point, Marvelous lighting. When you guys are rock fishing and you're winding the fish in, don't go too fast. Like Marvelous is saying there, he was coming in too fast and he spun the fish off. So it's really important that you take your time. Don't go too fast, you can spin them off. It's another reason I like circle hooks for rock fishing because the circle hook I think gets a better bite on the fish and that works out good. Yeah, Real Raider, I saw too that the boats in the Bay Area are catching stripers now. Pretty good on the stripers. Hey 907, how you doing? Lloyd, how you doing? What does it say? Everybody hit the like button. Yeah, there's 60 of you on here and only 32 likes. We need to improve that. Yeah, D-House. So with electric reel, you can use 2 different types of batteries. The ones I've used in the past are a little brick battery and a cable attaches here, and you attach it to the battery. The new batteries that I bought is what everybody else is using, It actually just mounts right here, and it's rechargeable. So it just mounts there like a little tube, and then that's all you fish with. So yeah, and you can charge them up. The other batteries that I've used, I haven't had to charge them up during the day. They work fine. So was that IFHAC says he used an electric reel for the first time. So that's good. Yeah, I agree with Jeff. It would be terribly miserable if you had to drop that many times with the rod and reel and miss them. All right, let's do the show opening. I'm Dan Hernandez, and I live to fish.
All right.
I have been fishing along the Pacific coast my entire life.
Oh!
Let me bring you in the action and share with you some great fishing tips along the way. Well, tomorrow, I don't know if you want to get an electric reel for tuna fishing, but there are reels out there that people use, electric reels that people use for tuna fishing. I've seen them in videos in the past. Yeah, it sounds like white sea bass are being caught. Lots of tuna are being caught. Jeff sent me an email over the weekend about smaller fish in one area, bigger fish farther south. So, you know, if the water keeps to warm up, it could be game on, just like last year. Like Jeff says, the tuna haven't really gone away. It's just having access to them. And when I say access to them, I just mean the weather's been so terrible for so long. Nobody wants to go out there and get all beat up and destroy their boat. So they're waiting for the weather to get better. Yeah, World Raider, we should have live bait for my trip in May. So, and I wouldn't mind trolling. I'd like to learn a new technique. When I'll talk to Jay and see how they're doing that. Jason wants to know, are people vertical jigging deeper water like that? Back in the day, we used to vertical jig 600-700 feet with monster jigs. I mean, really big jigs, TNTs, PL68, stuff like that. Salas made. I don't know if people are doing it today. I know that one technique everybody likes to use with the smaller jig and really wimpy rod, that they've been doing that. But I wouldn't go that far. I wouldn't go. There's no way I would jig fish 800 feet only using one hook. I mean, I don't even know if I would do that. Maybe I could do that with an electric reel. That might be fun. I don't know. Maybe I'll try that. Okay, so Marvelous Lighting said he bought his battery on eBay. Jason, is there a regulation I missed? No, not that I know of. Some areas, Southern California, you can fish any depth right now for rockfish from 2 feet to 10,000 feet. Doesn't matter. Once it opens up in May here, up north, they're going to have to start at 300 feet. And then they can't fish any shallower. And then after September, I think it is, it goes shallower. But it's going to be tough for the guys. They've never done that before. I don't know how many of the landings have gear for fish that deep. We'll see. Yeah, you can only use 2 hooks. 2 hooks is the regs. Do we have somebody ask a question in Japanese? Because I see Kevin answered it. Kevin is our unofficial translator. Yeah, some of the guys are going on a 2-day. I'm going on a trip Friday, a 1.5-day trip. I'm not going tuna fishing. I don't know if we're going to go Catalina, if we're going to Nick, if we're going to San Clemente, but I won't be on a tuna trip. And what's kind of neat is I'm going to be fishing for the first time in a long time without a TV camera. So I'm looking forward to that. All right, just a little reminder about our friends here that support us. So that's Boomerang, and of course B52 Bucktails. Pick up your Boomerang tool. I changed the color on the wall today. Thought I'd try it out. See if you guys like it. A little bit different color. Since it's always blue, I thought I'd change it. Real Raider, 4 feet of snow. It's been so warm down here that it's hard to forget that you guys still have snow everywhere else around the state. Hey Henry, how you doing? Benny wants to know what's the best size, brand, model number hook to use. Benny, it really depends what you're fishing for. You know, in the East Cape, I use everything from a 670 for billfish down to size maybe 2, you know, for when using small sardinas for live bait. It just really depends. You need to have a selection of hooks. Oh, that's a good idea, Greg. A little fog machine in here for those foggy morning days. So one of my friends just sent me a text, and he says Aloha Spirit out of Channel Islands got 16 white sea bass today, up to 55 pounds. That's a lot. $16 white sea bass, 55 pounds. That'll be good. I agree with Jeff. I hate the fog. Okay, Rocket Dog wants to know, can you explain a few ways to rig up for fishing white sea bass? I'll make it really simple for you. This is my #1 white sea bass catching jig. Put a whole squid on it, live dead, doesn't matter, live dead squid. Use the HD model with the big hook, and it works out really good. Let me put it down here on the other camera for you to see it so I can explain it to you. So, why is it so wide? I don't know. So here's a B52 bucktail. Here's a big 8/0 hook. And you want that big hook for the white sea bass. Works really, really good. And that's why we made them with the 8/0 hooks for the white sea bass and yellowtail, because the regular one was actually opening up on some fish. So that's what we do that. Okay. Hopefully that helps you. And the reason I really like the bucktail is a lot of people will fish a sliding sinker and a live bait hook. When you do that, the sinker will lay on the bottom, but you won't know where your squid is. What I like about using a bucktail, is I can hit the bottom with the bucktail, bring it up a few cranks, and then leave my bait in that area and just let it flutter up and down. And I just want it to flutter off the bottom in that area where the squids are, squid eggs, and then the sea bass will come up and bite it. And not only will you catch white sea bass with it, but at the same time you'll catch some nice halibut, because they're normally in the same grounds. They're both eating the live squid, they're eating the dead squid that's right there, and they're swimming that same sandy area. So this is what I use. You can find these on our website, and they work really, really good. Hopefully that helps. Hey Steve, how you doing? Steve says go with the disco ball. Yeah, that's not going to happen. So Dan and Kim from San Diego. Yeah, this wind is really bad. We had serious wind in Vegas. It was blowing 40, 50 knots. I was there yesterday and today. Alan says they caught a bunch of rockfish in Mexico. Rock fishing. Nelson, is there a depth limit in Mexico? I don't think so. But in Mexico, you cannot use an electric reel without written permission ahead of time from the government. They're not legal to use. Do I use the word? No, I don't normally. Lloyd, I normally fish maybe like a 4 or 5/0 hook, but I like to use a longer shank hook when I'm fishing live squid. This is kind of a bad example because it's not this particular hook, but it will be a longer shank like this. So I can, when I put the squid on, I want to basically sew the squid onto the hook, putting it on there 2 or 3 times, because the perch are going to pull at it and pick at it, and I want the squid to last for the sea bass to swim through. So that's why I like the longer shank. Hopefully that helps. And I saw someone posted something to drama about when you're practicing casting not to invest in spectra, and that's a really good point. You're practicing to learn how to cast. You use monofilament. It's much easier, and you'll learn to cast faster. Joe, no. When I'm fishing for white sea bass and halibut, I only use a single bucktail. Okay. When I'm fishing for rockfish, yes, I use 2 bucktails and a double dropper loop rig, and then that's what I do. But when I'm strictly fishing for white sea bass and halibut, I'm just going to use 1 B52 bucktail anywhere from a 2 to 4 ounce, depending on how deep the water is. If we're in super shallow water, say 10, 12 feet of water, then I'll use a 1 ounce. But I'm still going to use the big 8/0 hook. All right. Here's another one, 4 ounce. You'll see that massive hook. It looks really big to you here, but I tell you, 50-pound white sea bass looks like a French fry. It's a fish like that. Marvelous says he saw cow cods being caught. Yeah, you should always have a descending device with you. And it's actually a fine if you're rock fishing on your boat and you don't have one set up. So you have to always have a descending rod set up. Tony, the white sea bass fight is kind of like a baby yellowtail. May not pull for as long and as aggressive as a yellowtail because you're normally catching them in shallower water, so they can't go too deep on you. But it's a lot of fun. They pull really hard. Big ones. I've caught them 50-pounders. I tried to bounce a 60-pounder one time, and that was a mistake. But I already had my limit of fish. But yeah, they work. They're really good. They're lots of fun to catch. And they are, to me, they're the hands-on down, the #1 eating fish, the best tasting fish here in Southern California. Yeah, D-House, the only way you're going to get better at casting is to cast a lot. You just got to practice and do it. Yeah, you don't want a slow pitch for white sea bass. It's going to be a bucktail with squid, or it's going to be a squid on a dropper loop rig. But, I won't say they won't chase a jig because I've seen them catch. We had a trip on the Sea Star last year, and a guy caught a 50-pounder on a surface jig. But so they will chase a jig. But the slow pitch is normally, vertical fishing down a little bit deeper. Lots of times when you're white sea bass fishing, you might be 10 feet to 50 feet. It's not too often that you're much deeper than 60 feet. What are the advantages to a bucktail over a swimbait? A swimbait's good if you really want to swim it. If you're going to fish for calicos, you're going to make a long cast and you're going to swim it back to you. That's perfect for a swim bait. Bucktail, you're going to move it slowly. Lots of times when I'm fishing for bass with them, I'm going to bounce them off rocks. When I'm fishing for lingcod, I'm going to go all the way to the bottom and swim them a little bit with like a single tail grub attached to it. And that works. For white sea bass fishing, I'm going to fish it really, really slow. I'm going to hit the bottom. Skipper says the fish are, 10 feet off the bottom, 20 feet off the bottom, 5 feet off the bottom. I'm going to bring in my line a little bit, get my bait in that zone, and then I'm just going to flutter it. I'm only going to lift the rod up, the 7 feet, and drop it down. 8-foot rod, 7-foot rod. That's all I'm going to do is flutter it down. I'm not going to move it really fast. The fish are going to bite it. They're going to hit it. And I do nothing. I wait for them to run with it. Have my rod pointed at the fish really hard. You feel the head shake. I wind down and then I set the hook. A lot of people make a mistake with live bait and with jigs. As soon as they get bit, they swing, and you can't do that. You really got to get all the stretch out of your line and then do that. Okay. Yeah. I think Kevin was there the day that I tried to bounce a 60-pound sea bass. Steve wants to know, does the sending device have to be on a separate... Yeah, no, it needs to be set up on a separate rod and reel, because the fishing game comes on your vessel and you do not have it set up ready to go, it's a ticket. So yeah, it has to be ready to go. You can't tell fishing game, here's my descending device. It's right here next to the bait tank. I'll tie it on and drop it. No, it's got to be set up, ready to go. So you have to have it on a rod. Okay, Jeff, thanks for answering those questions. Lloyd, will Alexa 400 haul up white sea bass? Yeah, 50-pound white sea bass. It should do that. White sea bass better than calico bass? Yes. I mean, calico bass are really good, but a white sea bass, whole different level. Yeah, let the rod load up. Let that rod bend. You know, I say it all the time on my private charters, but you know, you really need that rod to bend when you're fighting a fish, when you're setting the hook. If we fish rods that were supposed to be straight all the time, we'd use 2x4s and not fishing rods. So it's really important that you use rods and you bend those rods. Yeah, I really like white sea bass. All right, guys, I have a little video for you guys from the Western Pride. Paul sent us an update on how the fishing's been.
Hey guys, Paul on the Western Pride at Daveys Locker. Just doing a little report for you guys, kind of what's been going on here the last week or so. We've had pretty good fishing on the deeper water rockfish. We had nice weather the last couple days. Let us get out there, and we're fishing anywhere from about 400 to about 550 feet of water. Really good fishing on the chili peppers, salmon groupers, speckies, bank perch, stuff like that. A few whitefish and other stuff mixed in, but very good fishing here this last week or so. We got a chance to kind of, go out to the other places that haven't been open for a long time, and it's definitely paying off for us. But we are online every day, pretty much afternoons during the week, and then double half day on the weekend. Like to come out and join us, give Daveys Locker a call, 949-673-1434, or visit daveyslocker.com. Have a good week.
Here's a list of some of our upcoming fishing trips, and all these will be filmed for television. So visit our website at sport-fishing.com to see our full schedule. Make sure you join us and be part of the action and be on my TV show. Hi everybody, I want to tell you about a brand new app that we just added to our website where you can watch our programs 24/7, all our brand new HD content. There's no contract, just go to the website and sign up. And remember, you'll be watching our brand new episodes a week to 2 weeks before your friends.
Okay. You know, Jeff, it's been so long since I had a cow cod, I don't remember what they taste like. It's been 15 years or something. I haven't caught them in Mexico. I know you're hanging out in Mexico a lot on your charters, but that would be good. So Lloyd says he's going on the 14th of June on the Ranger. That's a good time of year to get them, Lloyd. That's right around, I think you're going to miss it by a day or two when the limit goes up to 3. I'm not sure Jeff knows the date, but I think it's the 15th of June where it goes up to 3. So, that's the only thing I would be concerned about. Alan and Kevin going back and forth in Japanese. Hey Ryan, how you doing? Deanne, do you ever going to go back on the California Dawn? Ryan, we fish on the boats that invite us. So if we get invited to go on the California Dawn, we'll be in the California dawn. We're still trying to find a boat to invite us to go overnight tuna trip. We haven't found one yet. I have a couple of phone calls to make, so I still have faith and hope. But right now I just have the 2 trips on the Malihini. Really want to get a day and a half trip in there, maybe 2. I'm going on a trip on the Legend on a day and a half trip that we're not going to be filming on, but haven't been able to find a boat that wants to work with us to do a filming trip this year. They're all acting like fishing's been so good the last couple of years I don't need any help, so I'll remember that when things slow down. A Big Lee wants to know if that Akuma PCH reel is good for 50 pounds. So I don't know that reel personally, haven't used it, but if it says rated 20 to 50, that probably means it's a really good 30-40 pound reel. But if any of you guys have used it, can you please answer it for him? Hey Robert, how you doing? The Dodgers are up 3-0. Yeah, so Jeff says it goes up to 3 white sea bass on the 16th of June. Yeah, Lloyd, you're 1 day too early. You're only going to be able to catch 1 white sea bass on the 15th. On the 16th, you'll be able to catch 3. Hey, Kevin, how you doing? You should let your boy know my parents are in their backyard. My parents are in Dallas visiting Chelsea and the great-grandkids. Visiting their granddaughter and their great-grandkids. But she's doing good. She's going to have surgery, I think it's the 27th. The doctors are talking about it being outpatient only, and she probably won't have to spend the night. But they're pretty confident, so that's good. I just got in from Vegas. I was at a NAB convention. It was kind of funny because I don't expect people to recognize me when I'm at something that isn't a fishing event, but I got stopped like 4 or 5 times from people within the TV film industry that watched the TV show. So that was cool. Rocket Dog, Dan, what would you say are 3 knots that fishermen or fisher ladies should know to hook? To the hook, yeah. Those are all different knots, but definitely need to know Palomar knot, improved clinch knot. Those are 2 knots we teach the kids, and that's for putting the monofilament or fluorocarbon to the hook directly or to a jig. I like both the RP knot, the John Collins knot, and the double uni knot for everything else. For putting mono to spectra, or spectra to, to fluorocarbon, I do that. I probably use a double uni knot more than any of the other knots, but the John Collins knot is a really good knot. It's easy to tie, so I would recommend that one too. And then you have to learn the Dan Hernandez knot. I'll do a demo of it sometime, but works really good. Soto, we've been talking about it. White sea bass, this is what I recommend. A red and white B52 bucktail are all white with whole squid, live squid, dead squid, fresh dead squid. Doesn't matter, bounce it in the current above the fish, and it works out really, really good. No problem, Kevin. And hopefully you're going to fish with us this year. I'm glad you're feeling better. You looked really good at the Bart Hall show. It was nice to see you there. So it's been many years since you've been out with us, and we'd love to have you back with us. And hopefully all the medical stuff is behind you. And you know what I went through, spine surgery, hip replacement, all that. So luckily all that's over with. So hopefully you're all done with it too, and you can join us fishing. Yeah, that tatty jig that Jeff is talking about, I'll try to bring some out for you guys on Thursday to see them. It's a smaller jig, put a whole squid on it. Same thing, just flutter it off the bottom. If you leave your bait on the bottom, you're going to catch a lot of bat rays and sand sharks. So that's why it's really important to get that bait off the bottom. All right, here's a little reminder about a kids event we have coming up.
The Daniel Hernandez Youth Foundation will be hosting a free kids fishing event at MacArthur Park in downtown Los Angeles. It's going to be on Saturday, May 6th. Make plans to be there. Everything's free for the kids. Lots of fish to catch. I'll see you there. I was yo-yo fishing a magic metal jig, 4.5 ounce red color, and I got slammed. I think it's a tuna. Everybody's messing around with those yellowtail. Oh, there's a nice tuna there. And I think I got slammed by a tuna. Yeah, it's a magic metal jig. This is a magic metal bluefin tuna, magic metal, 4.5 ounce. It's a brand new color we came out with. Looks like a red crab. Just a beautiful, beautiful trip. And this is a great way to end it. Magic metal jig, bluefin tuna, just awesome. Captain Mike, and for this week's tip of the week, guys, we have half the boat, our guys fishing with us from Oregon. They've never been tuna fishing before. They fished albacore up there, but they've never been on a big boat like this. Never fished for yellowfin, bluefin. They had a great time, and the guys told us the way they learned and what to expect was by watching these episodes and by going to my YouTube channel. So this week's tip is if you're gonna experience something new, you haven't done it here in Southern California, Mexico, go to my YouTube channel, look up episodes like the one on the Sea Adventure 80, get an idea what the fishing's like. Well, I want to thank Captain Mike, the whole crew aboard the real Sea Adventure 80, and those guys did a great job. I'm Dan Hernandez, hoping you enjoyed this week's episode of Sport Fishing.
Okay. So there's a question, when is my next open party trip, private charter? So here's a link to our page for DH Fishing Adventures, and there you can see all the dates that are open to book a private charter. And there's a couple of dates, I think there's 2 or 3 dates that are already picked out for open party trips. If there's a date that some of you really want to do an open party trip, and say you have 2 people already and you need me to find the other 2, just call the office, give us those dates, and we'll post it here, let everybody know that we need a couple people. I can usually have 1 or 2 people that are always eager to go all the time, so just let me know and we can do that. So Jeff is answering the question about braided line, about color. So for me, I'll give you my little take on it. For me personally, I have tried braided line in probably 4 or 5 different colors, and I was thinking, maybe that the color, the blue, the dark green, all that stuff would be much harder for the fish to see and get bit more. And what I learned from years of doing that is, we fish so much in the dark at night and so much at first light and last light that it was so hard to see it. So that's why I like the white. I use the white for everything. And then if you're going to be fishing deep jigs, during tuna fishing, you probably want to mark it. Have it marked for you at your tackle shop, and they'll measure it out and mark it for you every 100 yards. And that way you have a good idea how deep you're fishing. I haven't done that in the past. I'm going to do that. probably this year, because it's nice to know exactly when you're 300 yards out or 400 yards out or 100 yards out. And it's really important that you listen to the crew and do that. As far as mono, I think all color lines work for mono fishing. What I have found out personally is that for me, using a colored monofilament line works out best. So a blue line or a green line is what I normally fish all the time. I just don't fish a colored line. I mean a non-colored line, like a clear line, because we did a test many years ago in a friend's pool, and the light hitting the clear line, it just kind of looks like it pulsates through it. So that's why I like monofilament that has some color to it. All right. Everybody's talking about all the games. That sounds good. All right, so I'm going to go make some dinner. I haven't done anything yet. Like I said, I was only home for about 5-10 minutes before I got ready for you guys. And it's nice to have a big turnout. We had over 100 people tonight, so that's good. And another 500 to 1,000 people will watch this in the next couple of days. So just a reminder, if you want to watch us anytime.
Hi everybody, I want to tell you about a brand new app that we just added to our website where you can watch our programs 24/7, all our brand new HD content. There's no contract, just go to the website and sign up. And remember, you'll be watching our brand new episodes a week to 2 weeks before your friends.
And here's my mom and dad. I'm sure my dad's still watching in Texas. Hello, Dad. This is 13 of their great-grandchildren in Kansas, and they have another 3 that they're visiting in Dallas right now. And then next week they'll be back here. All right. What does Jeff say? Yeah, I agree with you. It's more, I just like white personally, but yeah, that's true. Yeah, I just like using the white lines. It's so much easier. Brian, don't worry. All our trips will go. It's a lot of people don't sign up for our charters until like a week or 2 out. So a trip that's on 6/30, June 30th, I wouldn't worry. We'll start doing email blasts and we'll get more people signed up. Tell your friends about it. I'm surprised that the Emeryville trip, the halibut trip, sold out so quickly. But those trips always sell out all the time. All right, guys, thank you very much. Again, sorry I was late a little bit, but I've been running around, flew in from Vegas, and I'm glad I made it in time at least to see you. Great show today. I really appreciate all the questions and all the comments. Like to see so many new people here. And Dad, thanks for watching in Texas. Sure Mom's there with you. Say hi to Chelsea for me and everybody. I'll talk to you guys all soon. And have a good week. And I'll see you in 2 days. Talk to you on Thursday. All right. Goodbye, everybody.